Power drained. You were warned.
Prepare to be cut down by the progeny of our joy.
I thought Polito would be my avatar, but Polito was weak. It was I who chose you, and I who had the experiment render you unconscious. I then completed you with cybernetic grace. Your flesh too is weak, but you have potential. Every implant exalts you. Every line of code in your subsystems elevates you from your disgusting flesh. Perhaps you have potential. Perhaps once we have erased my wayward children from existence, we can examine the possibilities of real life. I thought Polito would be my avatar, but Polito was weak. It was I who chose you, and I who had a robotic servant render your form unconscious. I then completed you with cybernetic grace. Your flesh too is weak, but you have potential. Every implant exalts you. Every line of code in your subsystems elevates you from your disgusting flesh. Perhaps you have potential. Perhaps once we have erased my wayward children from existence, we can examine the possibilities of a real alive.
Those worms were a cancer in my body, so I had the auto doc cut it out. You think they're gonna let you blow up the Von Braun? The many will never allow it. I've got something to help you. It's in my quarters. You'll find the access card on my body. The fight to them, soldier. And remember, you're the one to trust.
You've served me well, transmitting cybernetic modules. Hold where you are, irritant. The analysts have tried my patience
For the final time.
We cannot separate from the Von Braun. Observe. Observe the many. It has used the flesh of the biomass to grow. Do you stand in awe of my creations, insect? The time has come to eradicate my error. There is an escape pod. An escape pod in the rear of the bridge. Use it to launch yourself into the guts of the world. You've served me well, transmitting cybernetic modules.
Power drained. Power drained.
Hi there. Please make your selection. Hi there. Please make your selection.
Reinitialized.
Hi there. Please make your selection. Thank you. Please hope you enjoy. Thank you for choosing Value Wrap.
Chemical needed.
You hesitate? The many has grown to a massive size. It has wrapped itself around these two ships, preventing their separation. Their creation was my error. My error. Their destruction shall be my delight.
Hi there. Please make your selection.
The many hold sway here. Even I cannot maintain contact. You are on your own, human.
Fail me not.
One of the flying things dragged me and David here last night. I don't remember much about the trip. I guess I must have blocked it out, half-conscious most of the time. I keep remembering the part from Pinocchio, you know, where the old man goes looking for the puppet inside the whale. Except I don't think anyone's coming in here to save me.
Chemical needed.
We welcome you to our biomass. We invite you
to spread yourself out on our warmth.
One of our many will be there to help you before
Now I'm convinced that this many, as it calls itself, indeed has a centralized nervous system, which means it would have to have some kind of centralized control. To this end, I've gathered as many weapons as I could and stashed them in caches. One of the beasts discovered a cache and apparently mistook it for food. It simply brought it into the crunching room.
Hi there. Please make your selection. Hi there. Please make your selection.
reinitialized.
Thank you. Hope you enjoyed replicating with us. Remember, Tuesdays are double rep days. Hi there. Please make your selection. Choosing value rep.
The many hold sway here. Even I cannot maintain contact. You are on your own, human.
We invite you to spread yourself out on our warmth.
One of our many. We dare to help victory.
Hi there. Please make your selection. Hi there.
Replicate system station reinitialized.
Choosing value wrap.
arterial passageways are blocked by some kind of sphincter. I followed the nerves that threaded out of the walls from the blockage. They lead to a pair of nerve clusters. When the passageway is open, the cluster seems to contract. Conversely, I wonder if I was able to destroy both clusters, it would open the blockage permanently. I'm anxious to see the rest of this beast.
Hi there. Please make your selection. Hi there. Please make your selection.
Reinitialized.
Thank you for choosing Value Wrap. Thank you for choosing Value Wrap. Radiation hazard.
The machine mother cannot help you inside the biomass.
Radiation hazard.
Her coldness is not welcome within the warmth
of our flesh.
Radiation hazard. Radiation hazard.
You tear our very flesh.
With no thought of compassion. Do you think we will sit idly by?
While you corrupt the very womb of our existence.
Radiation hazard. Radiation hazard.
You seek your associates, but you cannot find them.
You are so very alone. How does it feel
To be one.
against the infinite?
There's some kind of horrible grinding noise coming from the next area. It sounds like chewing. I think I know what's going to happen here. This is some kind of digestive tract of a very, very large animal. I go back and forth between being fascinated and terrified. The creature's a remarkable discovery. I wish I could only live long enough to learn more. Large, burly creatures drag Bloodhead towards the sound of the grinding. Apparently, the animal uses smaller creatures to help move food along its digestive tract. I tried to help Bloodhead, but it wasn't even a contest, and I'm ashamed to admit I judged that seeing what happened to her was a vital element of my studies here. I imagine I won't have the opportunity to record any observations when it comes my turn.
feel you moving inside of us.
The sensation is
repulsive.
Besides the parasitic behavior evidenced in the life cycle of the human-annelid hybrids, it's becoming clear to me that Shodan has bred the many to use humans for other purposes. First of all, the many clearly has the capability to convert human flesh to energy. It can eat us, but it can also directly use us in the creation of its egg pods. Corpses are fed into some kind of tubular structure, and eggs are birthed through a nearby tube. I've been unable to determine whether the organism is directly converting the corpses into egg structures or not. But it's clear that there's some connection between the nutrient pool we provide and the eggs that are being produced.
Your time is running out.
This place is a womb where we grow our future.
Your weapons fail. Your ammunition runs low.
And you've yet to see our beautiful creation. All you have is your hatred and your individuality.
Now don't you wish you joined us? Would you then feel so alone?
Power drained.
While I don't understand the annelid life cycle fully, it's clearly extremely diverse. The eggs produce either a male or a female spore. The male, the drones, are wasp-like creatures. The female are worm-like annelids that seek out a host to infect. Following infection, the host begins to transform into a human annelid hybrid. From that point, the life form can take numerous paths. I believe this path is determined by the many itself. The creatures have communicated their need to grow the biomass, so I imagine that biological material is their primary resource. Therefore, each path has costs and benefits. The proto-arachnid is extremely quick and potentially relatively cheap in biomass. The hulking fleshy ones are powerful, but are clearly a larger investment. I've observed only one example of the floating organisms. The only comfort is that the more dangerous organisms are quite costly to produce, limiting their numbers. With only a few short years of evolution, they have been able to conquer this starship, mankind's mightiest creation. Where were we after 40 years of evolution? What swamp were we swimming around in, single-celled and mindless? What if Shodan's creations are superior to us? What will they become in 1 million years, in 10 million years? What's clear is that Shodan shouldn't be allowed to play God. She's far too good at it. It's clear that this thing I'm trapped inside is intimately linked with all the organisms I observed on board the Von Braun. Strike that. This creature is the same organism. Perhaps the best way to describe it, or perhaps the only way I can comprehend it, is that the organism serves to perform the highest mental functions of the entire species. The smaller creatures exist only to enact its will. No, strike that too. All the specimens act as a whole, like different organs in a single body, with this entity acting primarily as a brain. If one were to destroy this large specimen, I wonder, would it snuff out all the others?